It's me, Dr. Zambak, and I know we haven't talked in a while, or I know I haven't recorded in a while, excuse me, but here I am talking about a long awaited topic, which is how to improve in this game as uh, as just like an overall just getting better characters and, you know, being a better player, having more skill at actually aiming your shots, timing your spells and abilities, etc., and knowing when to nexus and knowing your limits. Now, for the first part, I want to cover, you know, how do I just get better in general? And that is time. Okay, but just not any time you need. You need like focus time. Because if let's say you're trying to learn the piano and all you do is just sit there smashing the keys, are you going to learn anything? No. Okay? Just no. Which is why you need to spend focused time on this game, trying to learn the mechanics, learning from your mistakes, and just trying to concentrate on what you're doing right and trying to replicate what you're doing right. If you can't replicate what you're doing right, then I don't know what to say. Because that is one of the most important things. If you do something right and you can't repeat it again, then there must be something wrong. Because I know that everyone has the ability to repeat what they did right. Now, it may take some time, as does everything, but you should be able to achieve this. Now, what you may ask me, what do you mean by concentrated gameplay? I mean, you cannot be distracted. You have to set yourself an allocated time where you can practice. Where you can run some difficult dungeons and try to test your limits, test your skill, test your luck. But you have to find this time to find just these challenges. Okay, otherwise, you're never gonna learn. That brings me to my second point. Time. Time. You need time in general. Okay? If you don't have time to play video games, nope. Nope, you should not be playing Realm. And on to my next point is some people may ask me, well, you have this amazing pet. And yes, I do have this amazing pet, but it came from lots and lots of grinding. Okay, grinding is a huge part of this game. This game is based off of grinding. It's what makes it so addicting. The grind, and then the occasional wipe back, which keeps you coming back for more. Some people may not like it. And if you're a person who generally does not like grinding, then again, this game might not be for you. And if this game isn't for you and you just don't like the way the game is being played, then I'm sorry. It's how it's gotta work. Another question that I see asked a lot is, how do I get rich? How can I acquire wealth? Well, the only way that you can really acquire wealth, again, is with the grind. Okay, grinding out dungeons is by far the most quick and easy way to get lots and lots of potions. Now, if you are a beginner player, then I suggest maybe farming Godlands instead of running dungeons, because I'm gonna be honest here, these dungeons are not for beginner players. They're for players who have at least low to moderate level skill. And if you're a beginner, I want you to practice in the Midlands and areas where you know you are sort of comfortable at. but not too comfortable, but just sort of comfortable at. So you can acquire more knowledge on the types of enemies there are, the shot patterns of the enemies, and just how much damage you can take, and what kind of enemies you know you can fight and what kinds you can't fight. And then once you've accomplished all that, you can move on to Godlands, move on to dungeons, and then, keep on upping the difficulty of the dungeons you complete. Now, as the Witch dungeons, as a starter, I recommend the Snake Pit, because speed is always in demand. And after, I feel, if you've finished grinding out snake bits and you're pretty proficient now, you can move on to maybe abysses. Get a melee character or something. A knights especially, those are very good. Or paladin if you do not have a good HP heal pet. Abysses are not as hard as many people think. They're really easy as long as you have the speed to get past the enemies. I will make a detailed guide on rushing abysses later, but, I'll just leave it at that for now. Now, last thing I want to talk about is your dedication. You need to have the willpower, you need to have the dedication, okay? Because if you don't have all this stuff, you will not be able to accomplish any of the things I just listed. And maybe you'll be able to do something, but if you just don't want to do all these things and you just want to find like a quick, easy way, to get rich, then I don't have any other solution except spending money on the game. Spending money, getting yourself like a super good pet in the very beginning instead of working slowly up towards it, so the pet scales with your ability as a player. And I know I'm just repeating what Bikiri Box said, but it's really the only way for people who cannot accomplish those tasks I just said. And it's a pretty sad way. It's pretty cost inefficient also, but it's the only other way. Thank you.